Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Bernard Damon Holcomb, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Damon Speaks Show. I am so happy you tuned in. Do me a favor when you get a chance and just let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and if everything is okay, because sometimes the audio is off. I think StreamYard is a little mad at me, but that's okay. Tonight we have two very, very special guests. We have Chris and Shavon Robinson, the founders of Everyday Money Smarts. However, before we get started with the show, and while people are coming in, I just want to sing a little song that's been on my heart today and talk about what that means to me. So here we go. Like the woman at the well, I was seeking for things that would not satisfy. But then I heard my Savior speaking, draw from the well that never shall run dry. Fill my cup, Lord. I lift it up, oh Lord. Come and fill this thirsting of my soul. Bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more. Fill my cup, fill it up and make me whole. My dad used to sing that all the time when I was a kid at our church in Detroit. And that song has taken on a new meaning for me. You may not be Christian. You may not even believe in God. However, I've said time and time and time again that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And the more you try to take care of people, the more you try to convince people to love you, convince people to be in your life by buying them gifts, and really by sacrificing what you want, really by sacrificing what you need, really by saying yes when the answer really is no, you're pouring from an empty cup. So, how do you fill your cup? Meditation, doing things that you love. Perhaps you can buy yourself something small. It doesn't have to be something huge. It could be a new pair of underwear, a new pair of socks. Perhaps it's calling a friend. Perhaps it's just thinking of a memory of a time when you were really happy. We know, a lot of times we know when we're pouring from an empty cup. Sometimes we feel like it's unavoidable. Sometimes we feel like we can't help ourselves. But in the time that you become aware, I want you to start practicing this week, filling your cup, so that you have something to give. Because when you pour from an empty cup, you're making the person that you're giving to a thief. They're stealing from the bottom of the barrel. They're not getting the best of you. You're not getting the best of you. No one is really getting the best of you. So, again, this week, I want to encourage you to find a little bit of grace for yourself. If you find yourself in those situations over and over and over again where you're pouring from an empty cup, but also start practicing. If you don't think you can do it, that's okay. It all starts in your mind. Think the thought, oh, what would it be like if I were able to replenish myself? What would it be like if I were really able to save something for myself so that when I gave something to someone, it's really coming from the best place. It's coming really from a place of love. Because when we give people things and when we say yes, when we really mean no, it adds a bunch of stuff to it. You end up having lots of resentment. You end up looking to that same person that you sacrificed your time or your money to replenish you, to give it back to you. But what I've learned and what I've experienced is that oftentimes it's not going to come from that person. It's going to come from somewhere else. And we can damage our relationships and we can damage our own mental health by looking to others that we've given to, that we've sacrificed for when they didn't even ask for us to sacrifice, right? These are all the things that happen when we're pouring from an empty cup. If you want to talk about empty cups, if you want to talk about how you can really take care of yourself, email me at damonspeaks411@gmail.com. I would love to dialogue with you. You can also DM me anywhere: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Hey YouTube, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey Facebook, thank you all for tuning in. This is going to be a fantastic show about money. Hit that share button, hit that like button, and comment. Let me know that you're here. We would love to hear from you. All right, so tonight's guests, it brings me great pleasure to have them on. They are a young couple in Detroit with two very energetic toddlers, which will probably make an entrance. Anyway, I just want to introduce you guys to Chris and Shavon Robinson. What's
Hi.
up?
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
Good. Oh, yeah.
Tell the audience who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, I guess first and foremost, we're parents. So you can probably hear the kids in the background. Ethan and Zaria. We have a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son. But me, I am professionally, I'm in retail management. And then Shavon, I don't know if you.
Yeah, okay. I'm a social worker.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys have started Everyday Money Smarts, which is like a simple, practical way to look at your finances. What influenced you to start looking at your debt or like paying it off?
Well, I mean, being broke was a pretty good motivator. But, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where you get paid and then you take that paycheck and you pay everybody else. And then you look at what's left over and you barely have anything or you have nothing. And, you know, that's just not a good way to live, especially if you want to build wealth, if you want to, you know, at some point, you know, have things to pass along, financial things to pass along to your children, you know. So we just kind of had to come up with a plan, you know.
Yeah. Definitely after having Zaria, that kind of lit a fire under us. Like, okay, we have to do something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you had your first baby.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, we want to provide a better life for her.
And diapers are expensive.
Yeah.
Things got real.
All right.
Things got real quick.
Yeah, having a baby delivered ain't cheap. Those bills do show up to the mailbox.
So did you grow up with wealth? Did you grow up with wealth around you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I grew up with debt around me.
Exactly.
Like, debt was just like, everybody has it. It's okay. No one really worried about it. That's kind of like when we got married. I say, like, we were heavily in debt. Ooh. Because we were just kind of like, you know, we want to get out of that, sure, but it wasn't a pressing issue because everyone has debt, right? Everyone has credit card debt.
Yeah, debt is normal.
Right.
You know, that's what people say.
So yeah, so we said we wanted to get out of debt, but we weren't making any real moves to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we picked up more debt.
Yeah, we did.
Let's talk about some of the things that block us from tackling debt. There's fear that it's going to be too much. Like, if you guys pay, how much did you pay off?
Ooh.
We're well at this point. We're well over 65,000.
Yeah.
In like just the last 3 years.
3 years.
Because we just purchased another car, so
that's not a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And we don't make a lot of money. We're not millionaires. We're not rich.
Right.
We had a whole nother.
Like, how do you? Okay. It seems impossible to me personally to pay off that amount of money in this amount of time that you've done it. Where did you start?
So, for one, I think that what you mentioned right there is actually one of the biggest roadblocks. Like, a lot of people will think like, yeah, there's no way I can do this. This is just too much. And so they don't try. But with the right plan, you know, kind of like what we promote, you can actually, you have a way to tackle that debt systematically so that you get one thing paid off, usually the smallest thing, and then you just kind of move to the next thing, and you kind of go from there. So it's all about just pinpointing a spot to start, focus on that, get that gone, and then you go right to the next thing.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you'll look back and $65,000 will be paid off in 3 years. So
It's definitely a mindset thing.
definitely starts with the mindset.
Like you said, it was so scary coming away from what we've known, like credit cards. Like, what do you mean not use our credit cards, or use our credit cards responsibly, which is what we promote. But, it was scary. It's like, nobody does that. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never going to pay off student loans. I'm just going to die with student loans because that's what happens, right?
Right.
But so I think the very first step is to like get your mind around it. And, you have to tell yourself that it is possible. Because, the self-fulfilling prophecy. We tell ourselves we can't do it, we won't do it. It'll be a bunch of roadblocks all in the way that we put there, right? We put them there. It's in our mind. So the first step is to start here. This is where your debt freedom starts. Starts there.
Absolutely.
Okay, let this new mindset. Even with the new mindset, I'm assuming that there may have been roadblocks or sometimes along the way where you were like discouraged.
Oh yeah. In the beginning, I was scared. I was just like, when we kind of sat down, it was like so overwhelming, and I was like, okay, can we really do this? And I was like, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. What do you mean use cash in this envelopes? I'm like,
it's uncomfortable.
Like, this is weird. Toddlers, this is real life. This is our life right here. This is our life. So
listen, we are having a family show here tonight on the Damon Speaks Show, but people are hungry for this information because listen, the holidays just happened. I'm sure that there are people that maxed out their credit cards because of consumerism, because of capitalism. They want to make sure that everybody gets the latest and the greatest. So talk to someone that may be in that situation right now. Like, where can they start? What types of products maybe do you have at Everyday Money Smarts that will help them, start to relieve some of that pressure? Because it's a lot of pressure.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, so we do have a workbook on our website right now at everydaymoneysmarts.com. That's a $19 workbook. And basically that'll kind of help you. It shows you where to start. It gives you the foundational skills to kind of start digging into that debt and then get that plan that we talked about to start working your way out of that. Because once you do get out of debt, and once you have that plan, even before you get out of debt, because you know what you're going to do with your money, what's going to happen next, it takes a lot of that pressure off of it, because you know that at some point, because you know that the process is working. And so the debt will be gone over time. You can almost even mathematically figure out how many months it's going to take. So
yeah. So definitely like the workbook, and we just launched the Ultimate Simple Budget Tracking System, because we pride ourselves in having simple stuff. Look, we got 2 toddlers. We don't have time to sit down and go through this whole complicated system. So we needed something quick, straight to the point. I was going to get it done. So that's it's a Google Sheets. It does all the calculations for you. You don't need to pull out a calculator. You just input and go. And I love it.
Just plug in the numbers.
So there's the workbook, there's the budget tracker, and then there's also a debt tracker.
Yes. So we have a
cash envelope.
Yes. So the entire system comprises of the budget tracker, the debt tracker, and the cash envelope template. That's the entire system. But you can purchase the budget tracker separately if that's something you need, because whether you have debt or not, you should be making a budget. Everyone should be making a budget. I repeat, everyone should be making a budget. Debt or no debt, you need a budget.
Right.
And also, it doesn't matter what your income is. I mean, you hear all the time about, doctors, lawyers, all these high income people who are just swimming in debt. So even though they make a lot of money, they're paying so much of that money out that they end up being in debt with credit cards and everything else, and the fancy cars, So even if you're a high income earner, sometimes you still need to have that plan on how to manage your money.
Are you trying to tell me that I could be making, I'm just going to throw out a number, $45,000 a year, which in New York City ain't nothing, be happy and still be debt free in a few years?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nah.
That's exactly what we're telling you.
No.
Exactly.
No.
And you can be happy while you're paying off your debt. Imagine that.
Okay,
Paying off
but
the
wait.
debt does not mean you can't go on trips. We had a whole another baby, more diapers added to our daycare, all that while paying off this debt.
Definitely.
Change jobs. So you name it. You know, it's no excuses. Excuses are tools of the incompetent.
Hey, Josh.
There's no excuses. We did it. Hey, my babe. I miss you, my Josh.
Ranez, Cody, Angela, thank you guys for tuning in to the Damon Speaks Show. Because that's a lot of our issue, okay? Think about the holidays. People see other people getting things for their kids, for their family.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Oh, gosh. Technology. People see people getting other things. We want to keep up with the Joneses, right? And so we think that we're going to be missing out. It's like ultimate FOMO. Did you guys go through that at all? Like, oh, we're going to have to cut this, this, and this. Now we're going to be bored. We're going to be without the best cell phones.
Okay, I just upgraded my cell phone. It's still not even the upgraded one. Like, it dials out and that's all I need. It's like, whatever. No, I don't have an iPhone. It's no. But I will say for the holidays, so we have a large immediate family. 22 in our large immediate family. That's like the adults, nieces and nephews, grandparents. That's it. Right? And we purchase gifts for our family. Like one year we just like, we can do this. And so we tried out, you know, a method and it worked. And we were able to get gifts for everyone without going into debt.
Yep.
Everyone.
22 people?
22
people.
22.
You know,
all
actually,
22.
I think I was the recipient of one of those gifts too.
You were. It was when you were in town. But yeah, we totally did it. And this year, and we'll run it again, we have 6 simple steps. 6 simple steps that you can do to have a debt-free holiday.
Listen,
That's
Ferris said, hey, cousin Ferris, she says, I am scared. I really want to be debt-free, but it seems never ending. Like, this is such a heavy thing.
Yeah.
Because, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. So how do you manage that?
Again, like I said, it's just a mind. It's a mind thing. It is scary.
You have to be uncomfortable with the debt. I mean, you know, yeah, it is a pandemic. And think about it. If you lose a job and you tell that you can't go to work anymore and, you know, and you have all these different debt sets, just the bills still come, whether you're working or not, you know? So do you want to have 10 bills coming to the mailbox or would you rather have 1 or 2 or 0? So the sooner you start, the sooner you can get the ball rolling and getting those things paid off, the better off you'll be. And as you start paying things off, you actually feel that weight lifted. I mean, we kind of talked about that earlier, but you know, it feels good to not have to owe someone, you know, and to be able to keep your money in your own pocket.
I heard something once. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yep.
Right. So it's this huge task in front of you. And when I say we had debt, we had debt.
$65,000.
Oh my God. Oh, clutch my pearls. But yeah, but you just have to start. You have to just take that. You just start. Just start.
I can only imagine if I had started this plan a year ago, before COVID started, how it would have been to go through this pandemic without the financial stress of having debt, of having things that I needed to get paid, or having to make like all these arrangements with different companies to pay this or that. So that's another reason why, you know, we should be trying to become debt free. Angela says, what should I do with the allocated student loan payment since it's on administrative forbearance?
Make a payment.
Make a payment. Absolutely.
Now,
it's all going to principal
like
when you make the payment. Yes. It's already in your budget anyway, right? You're used to paying it anyway. Yep. Make the payment. I took advantage of that. It made payments because it's going to go all towards your principal. You're not paying any of it on interest. Make a payment.
Yep.
If you can, continue to make your payments.
And even if you can't, once those payments start coming back, I mean, one of the things that we did was we would look at our statements and see how much of our payment was going towards interest. And then we try to add that amount to what we actually wanted to pay on that loan. So if we knew we wanted to make a $200 loan payment, but for every $200 payment, $50 of that went to interest, then we would try to make a $250 loan payment. So that way we know that that full $200 is going straight towards the principal. But even now, like Shavon said, if the loans are on forbearance and you actually don't have a payment due, then any payment you make is going to be 100% towards the principal. And then you ultimately save money on the interest in the long run because they're calculating the interest on what your balance is each month. So the lower you get that balance before they start tacking that interest on again, the less money and interest you'll end up paying.
Okay, come on, everyday money smarts.
I'm telling you, we're just everyday people sharing everyday advice. It's no tricks or gimmicks. Yeah.
I hate salespeople. I literally hate them with my guts. I can't stand them. I don't sell anything. I feel like I can't sell anything. But the reason I brought you guys on the show is because I believe in you. I know that it's practical. I know that it's simple. I know that it's coming from a good place. So if there's anybody out there that is looking to relieve some of your debt, this couple paid off over $65,000 of debt. Visit everydaymoneysmarts.com. Tell us about what they're going to find in the workbook. Like, are there these 6 steps? What are the 6 steps?
With the workbook, it goes through first getting your mindset together and how to do that. It goes through how to create a debt plan, a plan to pay off your debt. So we talk about the debt snowball versus the debt avalanche and kind of really dive into that.
And we also talk about ways that you can actually lower your bills. So, you know, yeah, so some bills can be lowered. And we talk about different things that you can do and different ideas on how to kind of negotiate different rates or lower payments for certain things. So that way, if you continue to make the same payments that you've already been making, but your actual payment due is less than that, then now you have more money going towards the interest, but without you having to fork out more money than what you've already been paying. But sorry, we got the kids. Sorry.
Real life over here, real life.
Right.
I just think it's amazing that you guys are young, in your 30s. You have 2 kids. You bought a house. You paid off at least 1 car, student loan payments, had a second baby. If you guys can do it, I feel like it's possible for me.
Oh, it's definitely.
If we can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me.
Did we skip any steps in the workbook?
No, well, that's the gist of what the workbook goes into. It goes into more detail on how to actually do it. Sorry. Yes, sweet pea. Yeah, it goes into more detail about how actually to do it and kind of walks you through those steps. So if you get the workbook, it's like us holding your hand, walking through that step with you. So it talks about how to create a budget. Because believe it or not, some people don't know how to make a budget. We weren't taught how to make a budget.
Listen,
a budget was like open that bill, hope and pray. That was our budget. Like we were not taught on how to make a budget. So even how to make a budget, where do you pull these numbers from for your budget, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We go over that in the workbook.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we're always available. We're just an email away. Email is best.
Hi, Miss Zaria. Hi. Say hi to the audience.
Mama, kiss me.
And that's Ethan.
Hey, Ethan.
Hi.
You know, I think
it's getting late and both kids are sleepy, so they're all over the place right now.
Right. Yeah. I think it's super interesting that we were raised in environments where debt was normalized. And where everybody had debt, and that you guys, because of a thirst for a better life, for a thirst for knowledge, were able to pull yourself out of it. And I'm just so inspired by the fact that you started a business. Like, talk about mindset. Not only have you crushed your debt, you want to help other people, and you're going to build more wealth by having a business.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's not something that we went into it because we really want to help people. That's the gist. We are not trying to like get rich off of it. I mean, you know, I'm not going to say no to it, but in all honesty, we just want to help people like us. You know, I mean,
definitely, because I mean, we kind of talked about this earlier, and we were just mentioning the fact that, you know, we didn't have good stewards for this growing up. I remember I was telling Shavon a story about even talking to my mom about debt. This was, a long time ago, but I was just talking about paying off credit cards. Like, yeah, I'm tired of making these credit card payments. I'm just going to pay it off and not have to deal with it anymore. And, she kind of just said, like, everybody has debt. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Just make a payment or don't. If you can't make the payment, then don't worry about it. And I'm like,
don't.
Yeah, right.
or don't. That or don't part.
Exactly.
They'll get you every
Or
time.
sometimes we have the mindset, well, I can be at least 2 months behind before they cut me off. So I'm going to keep this payment and go buy, some clothes or take this trip. And then I'll worry about the bill when I get back. But, enjoy the trip. But when you come back, life's going to be a little stressful when all those envelopes start showing up. So.
Right. And that's the thing, is that it really causes stress. It causes anxiety. Would you be able to show up as the best mom and wife or the best husband and father to your family if you were still under all this debt? I think I've heard somewhere that let's throw out 70% of marriages end because of arguments about money.
Yeah, that's real.
Communication and money.
Yeah, and that's real.
Usually it's communication about money. So, yeah.
Yeah, luckily for us, I am so truly blessed to have the husband I have, because we are on the same page when it comes to finances. And we have open and honest conversations. They're uncomfortable, especially when we first got married. I have to lay my debt out on the table for you. That's uncomfortable. But I mean, we have to do it. So, definitely, it's important for your mental health. I'm a worry wart. I worry about everything. So the less on my plate, the happier I am. And if finances is something I don't have to worry about, oh, thank God. So, yes. So, yeah.
Tell me, for us singles out there, what were you looking for in a partner? Maybe even tell us how you met, how long you've known each other.
Oh, gosh. Don't let Chris tell the story. Let me tell you the real story, okay? Because I don't know what story he come up with. So we met.
I only tell the truth. I mean,
we met in 6th grade band class. So, that's how we met. We met over the trumpet. The trumpet brought us together.
We both played the same instrument.
And we were friends for years. Right, and then
no dating,
no dating, nothing, none of that.
Nothing.
I'm going over his house to tell him about my boyfriend that got on my nerves. So we were just friends forever. And then one day, somebody woke up and was like, "It's you."
Yeah, and her name was Shavon.
and here we are. Here we are
with 2 babies, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. I love that story. I always talk about that story. I just think it's so amazing that
I would tell you that, I had to wait 15 years for somebody to come around, but, I won't talk about that.
Yes, let's not talk about that.
I just want to ask, was it difficult to be in that waiting period? Did you always know that this was the end goal and that this would happen? Or was it I don't know if she's going to come around?
I think the only person that didn't know was Shavon. If you talk to me, if you talk to even her family, your dad for one, they knew years before she knew. I think everybody knew except for her. There was just a feeling there that I always thought would eventually turn into this. But yeah, it just it was never really. It wasn't something that was planned to happen when it happened, but it just kind of did. Sorry. I don't know how loud that is, but
we love you, Ethan.
Yeah, he's sleepy. He's not really feeling well today either. So, but yeah, so we kind of just decided to do it, and here we are. Five and a half years of marriage later, and 2 kids.
2 kids, marriage, paid off a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Tell me about
Hold on,
the code for everybody that's tuning in tonight. You have a special code for, is it 10% off?
Yes, it's 10% off. So the special code is Damon Speaks. So if you go to everydaymoneysparks.com, and if you purchase the workbook or actually any of the products, just type in the special code Damon Speaks, and you'll save 10% off of that product. So just for being a loyal listener of Damon Speaks. So
thank you so much. You guys are always supporting the show, always tuning in. I wanted to bring this to you guys, my viewers, because I do think that it's really important. It's 2021. Some of us have New Year's resolutions. Some of us are just committed to getting our finances together. So check out everydaymoneysmarts.com check out the workbook, the debt tracker, the budget tracker, and get your life.
There we
Tell me
go.
what's next for the Robinson family. Well, what's happening? What are your 2021 outlooks and goals?
So I guess for us, it's just kind of going deeper, creating more financial stability. Actually, we got our eyes set on the house now, getting that paid off. I mean, imagine not having a mortgage payment every month. So,
Okay.
so that's kind of where we set our sights at right now, and just kind of learning more, growing more, so that we can ultimately help more people get to where we are.
Shavon?
Yeah.
Okay.
It won't be another baby.
Oh
But
yeah. Done with kids.
because we're paying down debt, not getting more. But yeah, I definitely want, we're definitely really focused now on building. We're starting the kids financial. Oh, okay. We have sleepy toddlers. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Listen, this is real life.
So
It is
sorry.
real life.
But yeah, we're definitely focused now on, getting the kids started so that they can be off on a good foundation.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I'm not gonna keep you guys much longer. I'm gonna put you backstage, but hang out because I want to thank you. And I'm gonna say bye to everybody else.
No problem.
Right,
Yeah, thank you, Damon.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, there we go. Technology. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Go to everydaymoneysmarts.com. I feel like I'm trying to sell something, but I promise you I'm not. I have all these products. I've started to use them for myself. And I think that it may be possible for me to pay off my debt. I'm not sure. I'm still not certain. I'm still working on this whole mindset thing, but we're here. In 2021, it will be great to start off the year, thinking about finance, putting yourself on a better financial footing. We'll see. Next week, we're going to have another financial expert. My sister, Andy Moore Barnett, is going to be on the show talking about No More Starving Artists. Check her out. She does a great Financial Freedom Friday tip every Friday. We're going to be talking about how to, again, mindset, how to pay off your debt, how to just really get into finance. So that's tonight's show. Thank you again. Tune in every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. Find me, Bernard Damon Holcomb, on Facebook, on Instagram, Bernard Damon Holcomb, on TikTok, Bernard Damon Holcomb, on Twitter, BD Holcomb. I'm in all the places. On YouTube, Bernard Holcomb. Hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, hit the like button on Facebook. I really appreciate your support. There was a time when I wouldn't even ask. There was a time when I would just assume that you guys wouldn't be into it, that you wouldn't want to help me, but I need your help. And I thank you so much for your love. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Have a fantastic week. Please reach out to me if you ever want to talk about anything. I'm always open to all of that. And see you next time. It's not working.